I think the instruments that they can use in this area are really very similar to the instruments they can use in other areas. And so you're talking about the most important instrument, which is collective bargaining, trying to reach collective agreements on something, which enables unions to shape the world of work in which their members are working and living. The second thing is that they can clearly try to lobby and campaign on issues. And the third way, I think, is that they can try to ensure that their structures are such that they reflect the groups of workers who are affected by automation and digitalisation, and also perhaps the new groups of workers who are brought into these sectors because of automation and digitalisation. Well, I think inevitably that is going to be the case, that if it's not clear in the gig economy exactly who your employer is, if you take the case of people like Uber, they argue, they say we don't employ anybody, all these people are self-employed. That makes it very difficult for people to start to really improve their terms and conditions by going to somebody and say, look, we want something better than we've got at the moment. I think that digitalisation can potentially do that in some sectors because it enables people to work through portals, which then leave them much more exposed. And I don't think that that's necessarily going to happen in all of the transport sectors, but I'd certainly think that that is a danger. And I think you can also see that if you just simply look at the numbers, you can see that many so-called self-employed people are not really self-employed, they're bogus self-employed, and often their wages and their terms and conditions are much worse than people who are actually direct employees. If you look at some of the reports that have been produced for the European Union, for example, a report by the high-level expert group looking at digitalisation could see that it potentially led to greater polarisation of jobs, that you would have some more better paid jobs, but you'd also have more lower paid jobs and a hollowing out of people in the middle, that you would see potentially greater pressure on work-life balance, people being expected to be available really to respond to work queries at any time, day or night more or less, when they're on holiday or whether they're not on holiday. That was one of the things, and also the move towards groups of very highly paid employees and lowly paid employees on the other end, leading to greater social tension, greater polarisation, greater inequality. And inequality, I think, in a society is not an indication of a positive indication of things going well.